Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed friends, and fellow seekers of truth, today I stand before you to discuss a powerful and intriguing concept: the idea of God's angel for you, protecting your life. In a world where uncertainty often reigns, where fears and doubts can cloud our vision, the notion that invisible forces, angels if you will, protect and guide us is both comforting and profound. In the writings of C.S. Lewis, we find a remarkable intersection of the ordinary and the extraordinary. Lewis had a unique gift for unpacking the mysteries of faith, not as abstract ideas but as vibrant truths woven deeply into the fabric of our daily lives. With this spirit, allow me to consider the concept of protection in relation to God's angels and the divine care that envelops us. To begin, let us contemplate what it means to be protected. In our contemporary age, we often associate protection with physical safety or the guarding of earthly possessions. However, as Lewis would remind us, the true essence of protection transcends the mere physical. It touches the very core of our being, our spirit, our purpose, and indeed our relationship with the divine. Protection is not just about keeping danger at bay, it is also about nurturing us, helping us thrive in the fullness of life that God has intended for each one of us. Scripture speaks of angels as messengers and agents of God's will. In the book of Psalms, we are reassured with verses proclaiming, "He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." This promise suggests a divine orchestration at work, a spiritual defense that extends far beyond our visibility. Imagine, if you will, a steward watching over you, guiding your steps as you navigate the often tumultuous waters of existence. But what do such guardians look like? Lewis, in his profound insights, often reminded us of the interplay between the spiritual and the material. He described angels not as distant, ethereal beings, but as vibrant entities deeply involved in the fabric of our lives. They may guide us, inspire us, and protect us in ways that we may never fully understand. Think about those moments when a sudden intuition steers you away from danger, or a comforting thought fills the space where fear resided. Such instances may very well be the divine touch of an angelic presence. Yet, in considering God's agents of protection, we must also acknowledge the importance of our own free will. Lewis eloquently articulated that while angels may protect us, they do not force us along a prescribed path. We are co-creators of our destinies, granted the autonomy to choose and to act. This interplay of divine providence and human agency is at the heart of our journey. In moments of struggle or desolation, we may feel abandoned, yet we must remember that God's protective hand is often unseen, working patiently in the background as we make our choices. Moreover, we must recognize that protection does not always manifest in the absence of suffering or difficulty. This truth can take us aback. Lewis himself addressed this paradox, reminding us that trials can indeed be a part of our refinement. As gold is tested by fire, so too are we shaped by our experiences. Through hardship, we may come to discover resilience, empathy, and deeper faith. In this context, an angel's protection may not always mean delivering us from pain, but rather guiding us through it, ensuring that we emerge on the other side transformed and strengthened. In our quest for understanding, we might ask, how can we recognize the angels that God has appointed for us? We do not become privy to celestial happenings through sight alone. Instead, we learn to thank God for the unseen, to trust in the divine plan crafted with infinite wisdom. Prayer becomes a powerful tool, an anchor that allows us to connect with the divine presence surrounding us. In the stillness of contemplation, we can begin to discern those gentle nudges, those moments of reassurance, and the deep-seated peace that comes from knowing we are never truly alone. Finally, let us reflect on the nature of the angelic protection offered by God. It is not a mere shield against adversity, but an invitation to draw nearer to Him. In recognizing the presence of angels in our lives, we are encouraged to cultivate an awareness of the divine, an awareness that inspires us to live with purpose, hope, and love. It beckons us to share this divine message with others, to be the vessels of God's light in a world that often feels dark and chaotic. As we conclude this reflection, I invite you to open your hearts to the wondrous possibility of divine intervention, of God's angels walking alongside you, ever vigilant, ever loving. Embrace the staggering beauty of knowing that you are protected, not just in the physical sense, but in the very essence of who you are and who you are meant to become. In a world brimming with uncertainty, the concept of divine protection through guidance serves as a comforting beacon for many. The belief that we are not navigating our lives alone, but are supported by forces beyond our understanding, can instill hope and courage. This understanding of divine guidance often takes the form of angels, messengers of God, whose role is to illuminate our paths, helping us make sense of our experiences and choices. To delve deeper into this topic, we must first explore the nature of divine guidance. It is not merely a mystical whisper heard during moments of introspection, but rather a robust interaction between the divine and our everyday lives. Angels, as envisioned in sacred texts and spirituality, serve as intermediaries, ensuring that God's will and wisdom reach us. These celestial beings are believed to offer direction that is aligned with a higher purpose, revealing the plans that God has for us, even when we may feel lost or disoriented. One way that divine guidance manifests is through a sense of intuition or a gut feeling. Many individuals report experiences where they felt an inexplicable pull toward or away from certain decisions, situations, or people. This instinctive urging can often be attributed to the work of angels, nudging us toward the right choices. These moments of clarity remind us that we are never truly alone. There is an underlying connection to the divine that guides our steps, often in ways that we may not fully comprehend. In addition to intuitive stirrings, divine guidance frequently appears through external circumstances. Have you ever been in a difficult situation, only to encounter someone who offers exactly the advice or support you needed? Such encounters may seem coincidental, yet they could very well be examples of angelic intervention. Angels can operate through other people, presenting them as instruments of divine guidance. In this way, our connections and relationships can serve as channels for God's protective intention, helping us navigate the complexities of life. It is also important to recognize the role of prayer and meditation in facilitating divine guidance. When individuals turn to prayer, they often seek to align their will with that of God. In these sacred moments, we may become more attuned to the whispers of angels. Prayer acts as a bridge that connects us to the divine realm, enhancing our receptivity to guidance. Similarly, meditation offers a tranquil space in which we can quiet our minds and listen for the subtler messages of the Spirit. In these practices, we cultivate the stillness required to perceive the guidance that angels provide. Furthermore, the scriptures and varying spiritual traditions assert that angels provide protective coverage during critical junctures in our lives. Their role is not just to warn us of danger, but also to ensure that we feel safe and secure in our decisions. This protective guidance enables us to take leaps of faith, encouraging us to pursue dreams and passions that may seem daunting. Knowing that one is under the safeguarding presence of divine beings emboldens us to step out of our comfort zones, trusting that we are supported in our endeavors. This support can lead to immeasurable personal growth and fulfillment. However, it is crucial to understand that divine protection through guidance does not guarantee that we will be shielded from all pain or suffering. Rather, it acknowledges that our growth often stems from challenges. Angels provide the strength and insight to navigate hardships, transforming obstacles into opportunities for development and learning. They remind us that protection can also mean the ability to face adversity with courage and grace, knowing that we have the support of the divine to carry us through. Moreover, recognizing the presence of divine guidance invites us to cultivate awareness and discernment in our daily lives. It encourages us to pay attention to the signs around us, synchronicities, dreams, and feelings that resonate deeply within us. As we grow increasingly mindful of these experiences, we may find that we become more aligned with our true paths, experiencing a richer connection to the divine. Ultimately, divine protection through guidance is an invitation to engage in a transformative relationship with God and the angelic realm. It compels us to remain open to the nuances of life, acknowledging that every experience may hold a lesson or a nudge in the right direction. As we embrace this relationship, we can find solace in the knowledge that we are not merely wandering through life. We are supported, guided, and protected by divine forces that care for us deeply. In this partnership with the angels and the divine, we are called to take active responsibility for our spiritual journey. This means cultivating a practice of reflection, seeking to understand the messages we receive, and applying this guidance to our lives. By doing so, we nurture a deeper relationship with God, allowing divine protection to play a pivotal role in the unfolding of our destinies. In essence, divine protection through guidance is a profound and loving. As we navigate our journeys, we can rely on the angels to illuminate our paths, offering insights and guidance along the way. By surrendering to this divine protection, we open ourselves to the possibilities that arise when we align ourselves with the sacred purpose that lies at the core of our being. Through this lens, we can live with greater intention, confidence, and appreciation for the beautiful complexities of our existence. The interplay of free will and divine intervention is a profound concept that has intrigued theologians, philosophers, and spiritual seekers for centuries. At its core, this interaction raises essential questions about the nature of human agency, the role of a higher power in our lives, and how these dynamics shape our spiritual and moral landscapes. The relationship between free will and divine intervention is not straightforward. Instead, it is a nuanced and complex dance that informs our beliefs, choices, and daily experiences. Free will, the ability to make choices independently of external constraints, is often viewed as a fundamental aspect of being human. It suggests that individuals are not merely pawns in the grand scheme of life. Rather, they possess the agency to shape their destinies. This notion can be incredibly empowering, as it encourages personal responsibility and autonomy. However, it also raises questions about the extent of our freedom and how it interacts with the idea of divine intervention. Divine intervention refers to the direct involvement of a deity or higher power in human affairs, often perceived as miraculous occurrences, guidance in decision-making, or protection during turbulent times. People may experience divine intervention in various forms, such as unexpected serendipities, moments of clarity, or even through the support and actions of others who seem to appear at the right time, Stories abound of individuals who, in their darkest moments, found themselves guided or protected by divine forces. However, the existence of divine intervention does not negate the reality of free will. Instead, it complicates it. One of the key areas where free will and divine intervention intersect is in the realm of decision-making. While we are free to choose our paths, many individuals feel that divine guidance facilitates their choices. This persistent sense of being led by a higher power can be both comforting and daunting. It prompts individuals to seek alignment with their intuitive urges and feelings that seem to direct them toward specific decisions. In this way, divine intervention enhances our capacity for decision-making, encouraging us to listen to our inner voice and consider the moral implications of our choices.